I will start. It's already started. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Whenever you guys are ready, let me
All
know.
right, you ready? Okay, guys, welcome to our YouTube channel,
Of Grace and Rebecca, I'm Grace,
and I'm Rebecca.
and today we're going to be talking about a hot topic subject.
Very hot, very hot.
And not everybody knows what the subject is yet.
Not yet.
But in this discussion, we're going to be talking in whatever language comes to mind.
Yep, because the topic is really hot, so we want everybody to feel comfortable
Yep.
to talk,
And
express themselves.
yeah.
And whoever hears the English part, hear the English parts. Whoever hear the Chuluba parts, hear the Chuluba parts. Because this topic is getting hot.
All right. Well, I guess without further ado, I'm going to introduce the topic. Or should we introduce people first? I
Let's
feel like
introduce people
let's
first.
introduce people
Okay.
first, all right?
So,
So, like I said, I'm Grace.
and I'm Rebecca.
I'm Alex.
I'm Judith.
I'm Gigi.
And I'm Curtis, director.
Well, welcome to all of you, especially you, Mr. Director. So the topic that we're going to be talking about today is just, I guess it's not a topic, it's more like a reaction.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the uh, the video that came out? Do you guys have any idea what I'm talking about? You guys, do I need to spell it out?
Yes.
I need to spell it out.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea what we're talking about, Alex? You still don't have. Okay, we're talking about the video that Penielle released. It was a live on Thursday, was it, or Wednesday? Well, one of these days this week, she released a video after releasing some very disturbing pictures on her social media, talking about the abuse that she went through when she was married to the famous Mr. Mike Kalambay.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something in Lingala.
Yeah.
So, tozo lobela video ya Penielle na Mike Kalambay. Bato bele balobi o Penielle akosel Mike makambo. Bamisusu balobi o il faut tobeta Mike. So pourquoi tozawa na bandeko na biso to partager yango. Na ninga ke liboso. Moi liloba moi muke express your feeling. Tell us how you feel about the video.
Okay, I'll go. I guess when the video came out, it was a live video, right? It was like super shocking. No, I saw the pictures first on Instagram. It was like super shocking, and then to think that a Christian man, a gospel singer, would do something like that. Like it's not. I was having a hard time like wrapping my head around it because the way we know him is like his songs are like holy, and then to hear what she said in the video and to what she had to say, like the experiences that she had to live through a person that we consider to be the spreader of good news and of love and of patience and all these things. Like I just had a hard time just like seeing that those like the picture of him and then what we were being told of him. Like I was having a hard time marrying. So obviously I was shocked.
Yeah, I think everyone was shocked. But then it's after the shock what your opinions, what the opinion is of what you think is the truth and what not. First of all, I'm going to be playing the devil's advocate today. So I just want to say as a disclaimer, nobody hate me. Don't hate me for this. And I'm not on anyone's side. I'm just going to play devil's advocate, but I don't really believe in everyone equally.
Judith, from your words already, those are fighting words right there for some people.
But from
But before we go into people's opinions, just your reactions the first time you heard it. Alex, have you listened or have you watched the live video?
Moi, je vais parler en français. Hein. Je ne maîtrise pas trop bien l'anglais. En fait, moi, quand j'ai vu ça, ma réaction a été genre, même si c'était vrai, pourquoi elles devaient exposer leur famille comme ça? Pour moi, en tout cas, ce n'était pas propre. Ils devaient résoudre ces problèmes entre eux. Ça devait être mieux.
Oh man, Mike Alamba is like one of my favorite singers. But yeah, this was shocking even to me. Like, it's I've had to go through but like, uh, one of my favorite singers, the same type of situation. They cheated on their wife and then divorced them. I was stressed out for a whole week. But with Mike, it was different because I've been I don't know lately been just drawn away from his music, but it was still shocking that someone like that could do something like that. You know?
So there's people who say that it's not true. So do you guys believe that what Penielle say it's true that Mike Kalambai, the servant of God, beat up his wife?
All right. So from what I heard, so when the video came out, I'm going to speak in French and English, so just mix. But when the video came out, I thought everyone was gonna be on the same page. I thought everyone was like, "This is bad. We're all together." Like, this woman got beat up. It doesn't matter what she did, whether she was being disrespectful or whether she started it first. Like, obviously we've seen the pictures. It was like, how do you like hit anybody, let alone your wife, the mother of your children? How do you hit anybody to that point? And then like as days went on, I'm hearing other people are like, oh, it's not true. She's lying. Like there's so many theories that people are coming out with, which I think is absurd, and I don't share that opinion. But then what I have heard of people who are doubting that that even happened. They're saying, oh well, they're not doubting that it happened, but they're saying, oh, what was the point of her doing the live video, like doing the 3 hours of live video? Because people were saying it happened um, whenever it happened a while ago. It didn't happen this year. So then why, if she didn't say it then, why is she saying it now? So which means that she's saying it out of malice, or what she's doing is out of malice because she just wants to like maybe like ruin his career or ruin his reputation, which also is stupid because he basically like this is someone's life and someone's reputation, which is like two different things. But yeah, that's what the other side of it.
Sorry, I don't doubt that it's true or not. I think there could be some truth, but I also think that there's another truth that we're not seeing. So either Mike's story or either whether it was intensified for the people who are listening, because it took 2 years for her to come out with the truth. Uh, Everything, the whole thing, because it took 2 years for it to come out. So it could she marinated on all those the happenings. She could have you know when you're mad or when something happens and you're thinking about it a lot. Sometimes you add your own things. Like you imagine something else and you add it to it and you start to believe whatever you added in your mind. So she could have in her mind added some things and made it seem worse. I'm not saying she did, or she could have forgotten some things, or things like that. So I'm saying for 2 years, for her to come up with a story 2 years later, maybe we're not getting the 100% truth of the happenings.
Selon moi, je pense que c'était vrai. C'était vrai, pas, je ne vois pas au fait l'intérêt de la femme et tout, genre venir et raconter des histoires juste comme ça. Pour moi, je crois que c'était vraiment. euh, ouais, j'ai cette conviction parce que quelque part, je sais aussi, les Balouba, ils ont trop cette mentalité-là de frapper les femmes. Et, et euh, l'infidélité aussi quelque part en tout cas je suis Moulouba et j'ai vécu ces genres des trucs dans nos familles euh, pas dans nos familles ouais il y a des oncles des cousins en fait c'est ça donc en fait moi je n'ai pas de doute là-dessus mais ce que je les reproche et tout c'est genre exposer ça comme ça au fait ce n'était pas important parce que là le frère, c'est une star. Et puis, quel genre de star? Il chante pour Dieu. Donc, ça avait vraiment, ça affecte au fait. C'est vraiment touchant.
So, it really, honestly, to me, all is real because there's no one who just gonna come out and just do that to themselves just so they can ruin someone's reputation. And then it shouldn't be an excuse just because he sings gospel music. It's like it should
right quick, uh, Alexis just talked about how this is um, not. I don't want to say typical, but like this is something that is seen a lot in the Baluba man. How many of you agree by show of hands?
I don't know about Baluba. I think it's kind of kind of African. Let me not say African. Let's say Congolese men. They have this character of beating up the woman.
Can I say? Can I say something? Wait. No, guys, Congolese men don't beat up their women. That's not.
I
No, I feel like it
at
happens
least
in
from
every.
my point of, at least from where, like, from when I was younger, that's what I
No, can I
been
just
seeing.
say I feel like it happens in every society or every group of people, every culture. But obviously, some people tend like have that tendency more. But then, guys, it's not a Baluba men thing. Don't say that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
Don't say
Baluba
that.
man thing.
Maybe the one thing I could say about that is that wait, did you finish your point? Oh. So the one thing I could say about that is that obviously in our culture where you have it in the instances where women are oppressed by their husbands, they tend to be told to like not say anything, right? Because like well, women in our culture are expected to accept bad treatment from their spouses. So maybe that's the one thing that I can say. But I don't think that um, I personally know a lot of Baluba men who don't beat up their wives. So I'm not saying that they're not there. They're most likely there. Of the majority, woo, that's painful. That breaks my heart. But I think that obviously it happens in every society, but also in our culture, we encourage women or like we expect women to accept that kind of behavior. So that if you have an abusive partner, that it's nothing like don't freak out. Like it's like hey, just accept it. It's life. It's part of being a woman. We're talking about society and the society expectation that when something like this happens, when you're beaten up by your husband, that it should be something that you take in. Um, do you guys? So in light of that, like you talked about, why did she have to bring her business out into the world? Why do people have to see this? This is something that they should have discussed by themselves alone and not bring it out. Whereas right now, especially in America, we're seeing this culture, the Me Too movement, where people are being urged to come out with their stories and tell what's happened. Basically tell the truth and shame the devil type of
Freedom of
situation.
speech.
Yeah, not even freedom of speech, where it's more like you have to come out with this type of stories so that someone else can benefit from your story of abuse. Is And yet in the Congolese culture, it feels like this is something that we resist. It seems like if you do that, you're not a good person. What are your views on that? Do you believe that we should switch our culture into more of an open, when something like this happens to you, you bring it out? Or should we maintain what we have now, where people keep their family skeletons in the closet and they don't bring out, the badness or the bad things that is happening to them?
First of all, I'm really repulsed by the Me Too movement. Listen, I appreciate that the women are coming out to tell their stories, but it always breaks my heart when I'm hearing all these things, because I'm like, there's a person that I really like or I really respect, like R. Kelly, and then people come out and they're saying all these things about him, and it breaks my heart.
So they should
I-
give it to themselves.
I'd rather not hear it. Okay, that's one thing. So I think a better way to go about it is to go through the law and not to make it a big media thing. I mean, obviously, if they're famous, it's obviously going to get in the media. That's why I kind of didn't like her approach of coming out with it on YouTube uh, instead of going through the law first. I think because when we saw those pictures, I was thinking those are really serious beatings, because she had marks from the belt on her body, and it was really really bad. So if you get beat to that point, your first thought should not be to hide it. Your first thought should be to tell an authority figure, a policeman, judge, something. Get him, go through the justice system that way. And seeing that she didn't do that, she waited a whole 2 years before she I mean, well, a long time before she exposed
I think it
everything.
was just last year that
And
this
now,
happened.
yeah, and now she brings it out to the media for us to serve justice, us the public. I don't think it's a very smart thing, so I don't respect that very much. But I respect that she came out with it. I wish she did it sooner, and I wish she went through the law first, before she did the media. And if she did the media afterwards, I think it'd be fine. But the law first.
Okay. So that leads to my next question. If you were Penielle, what would you do if you were in that situation? If you were Penielle, what would you do?
Well, I think that's hard to imagine yourself in a situation like that. Because me, from the first time, if you raise your voice at me, I'm out. you know, I always say this. No, I always say, like, if I get married and then, like, you raise your voice, like, how
Oof.
dare you, fam?
Even a bad look.
First of all,
Even
yeah,
a bad look, man.
yeah. The minute you, so I can't imagine getting to the point where someone feels comfortable enough to raise their hand to hit me.
That's why
That's wild.
that's why I kind of have the doubt that her whole story is true because of that. Because of that, like how why will she wait until like
to get
that
hit
long?
to that point.
Yeah, because like I know Penielle was raised in America. You know,
Yeah.
she has Black American kind
Like
of
values.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
for me, I feel like she if I feel like as a Black American, she should have get out of that situation before
Oh,
on the
she
first
should have
lap.
used, like, her American
on that
way
first
of
lap
thinking.
she will get out as a Black
But,
American.
okay, but can I just say something? But there are also American people who are in abusive relationships, knowing the law, knowing that the law would most likely defend the woman first before they defend the man, and they're still in abusive relationships. You hear all the time about, like, the smartest of people, about, like, I don't know, even some police women who are abused by their partners. I think it's also like a psychological thing where where you are, where maybe she even, like, told friends and she told other people and they were like, it's okay, these things happen sometimes. Like, I was telling me and Grace this one time, we're speaking to some people we're not gonna name, and they were telling us, these were older men, they were telling us, you know what, in a marriage it happens sometimes where you hit your wife. They were men, right? They're telling me and Grace, in a marriage it happens sometimes where you hit your wife, and it happens. It happens.
You just
Like,
give me
he
a
was
bad
saying
look,
it like
I'll
it's a
slap
thing.
you first.
He was saying it like it's a thing that we should accept. So you can imagine her being where she's married to, he's famous. Everyone knows him.
So if it
So
were you,
it probably wasn't easy for her to be like, listen, your guy is hitting me. Because first of all, maybe people wouldn't believe her, and also it's not easy. I don't think like someone wants to come out and be like, listen, like, get abused.
so if it were
There's
you,
like so much.
will you get out on the first?
Yeah,
Like, from
I'm
the
telling you,
beginning?
from the minute you raise your voice at me, I'm out. We're not doing that. No, because we're not even gonna get to the point where you lift your hand to hit me.
Mhm.
We don't run like that over here.
I want Curtis to speak because Curtis hasn't spoken.
I'm a guy, as you can see. I'm a guy though. Like, you cannot
Guys get
see.
abused too. Guys get abused too.
I'll defend myself.
How will you defend yourself?
We're in church, so I can't really, say how. So
You know, I kind of agree with him. If I was in Benya's spam, I would fight back. I'm sorry. Like, no, I will. We maybe because
No, he's stronger, and she was pregnant.
I know he's stronger, but
Yeah.
there's some type of knowledge that we just know. You know,
I don't
you know how to
I don't
defend
think
yourself.
It's that easy.
But who said that she didn't fight for herself? Maybe
Huh?
she was fighting back too the
You
whole
know,
time.
like,
She was
listen.
I don't
if
think she's just
listen,
sitting there and
you know,
taking
let me
it.
tell you guys, the people are very soft on the shoulder. Okay, if you take, if you take a shoe, listen. If you take a shoes and hit someone here,
Yeah.
their whole body is gonna get soft.
No, but remember when she was describing the situations, she said she was sleeping, right? When this whole thing started. So first of all, she was probably tired.
Because she
so
said,
she's
you
sleeping.
know, listen, she
she's
said
pregnant.
like he beat her for like 1 hour. He does it often, and he beat her for 1 hour. Like, pick up her shoes, hit him somewhere. The police, he
Like
can
Grace
lay
is
down,
saying, the
and
door
then
will-
call
you
the
guys,
po-
no,
the
the
line-
door-
the ambulance and be
guys,
like,
no.
I defend myself.
She was a pregnant
Gigi.
woman. the strength that he has.
You know,
is not the same.
the Americans say, don't work hard, but work smart.
Oh,
You don't have to have the strength for you to defend yourself. You
gotta
know,
be smart.
just hit the right
I don't
spot.
think it's never that easy. It's never. I don't think it's that easy.
Au fait,
No, I was done. Yeah, I would just defend myself, you know?
en fait, moi, si c'était moi à la place des Penielle, je ne devais pas sortir l'histoire en public. Je devais les garder pour moi. Parce que déjà, quand je regarde l'émission et tout, de la façon dont elle parle, et tu sens que. En fait, moi d'abord, quand je regarde tout ça, je regarde d'abord son enfant. Moi, je connais la plupart des parents, surtout trop en Afrique. Peu importe les défauts de nos parents, nos mamans, ils ont toujours tendance à nous faire voir que non, notre père est bien, il n'a rien fait. Hein, ils ont toujours tendance à cacher, genre qu'on grandisse et apprendre ça de nous-mêmes. Tu vois un peu. Et là, quand elle parle, tu sens qu'elle a une côté là et tout, genre, tu sens que ça la plaît, que genre l'enfant sache que hein, son père est mauvais. Moi, je me dis peut-être, bon, quand elle raconte aussi quelque part, oui, les femmes, elles ont souvent trop tendance à être jalouses. Et quand ça se pose avec sa sœur encore, quand tu sens cette douleur qu'elle raconte en disant que Mike Kalamba est sorti avec sa sœur, hein, c'est par là que je sens encore cette douleur-là, qu'elle se permet maintenant donc tout faire voir aux gens. Donc moi, en tout cas, si c'était moi, en tout cas à la place de Penielle, en tout cas, peu importe la douleur de la chose, hein, je devais quand même cacher. Parce que là, je ne crois pas que Mike Kalambay peut encore parler à la télévision ou faire voir quelque chose aux gens. Et puis, vu la situation et tout, je sais qu'il disait qu'il devait être pasteur. Je ne crois pas que les gens peuvent encore aller à l'église. Parce que là, je crois, quand un pasteur, c'est genre un professeur qui raconte des histoires qui ne sont pas droits. Je ne crois pas que les élèves peuvent encore aller dans son école. Donc c'est la même chose avec l'église. Donc si Mike Kalambay ne raconte, en fait, vu sa situation en ce moment, je ne crois pas que les gens peuvent encore en l'écouter, peu importe ce qu'il dira. Parce qu'il y a des preuves. Moi j'ai vu sur les comptes de la femme, il y a des photos et tout, tu vois vraiment qu'elle était vraiment chicotée, vraiment hein, comme il y a. Donc, c'est ça en tout cas.
Moi, si j'étais Penielle, depuis le commencement, quand les nuits là, quand tu réveilles, quand il commence à te taper, I would get up, run outside. When she ran, because she ran outside, right? But she eventually got outside. When you get outside, you make it more. You're a pregnant lady. You add salt and pepper, and you make it more. You make it look more serious. You scream and you look like you're suffering, and then people will come and help. Because if you're just like, oh, they beat me, people are gonna be like, oh no, you live with a star. The star wouldn't beat you. But if you look like you're really suffering, they'll be shocked, you know. So they'll actually want to pay attention to you. And then you go to the police station and you accuse him, because then everything's fresh. It's fresh in your mind. Yeah. The wounds are fresh. They can see it for themselves. Because if you have fresh wounds, everybody's going to see it. They can't ignore it. They're going to ask themselves, it came from somewhere. Somebody has hit you. And they'll want to investigate it for reals. But if you wait years later, then that's why people are doubting the pictures if it's real, because they're like, first of all, her face isn't showing, and then it could be someone else. It doesn't look like her. So if she had shown the day of and she went to someone who can write an official report, then I think that would have been good. That's what I would have done.
But I feel like also, well, she did. There were people at the door. She said that there were people who were knocking on the door trying to like get him to stop hitting her, because obviously she was probably like screaming. I don't know. Again, he's a famous person, and then again, when you,
I feel like Gigi, you are Gigi.
Mike Kalambay's cousins,
no. She said no. She said that they were trying to get him to stop, but he had locked the door. So he was beating her up, but no one could get in. And then afterwards, she had to like walk to get help. But maybe, guys, you know when you go through that, like you're in shock. She was probably like in shock, right? You're not thinking
Gigi,
logically.
I feel like.
But hold on, I think we're concentrating on the wrong thing though. But why are we concentrating on what she should have done, would have done? Because like when you're in that situation, you're like again, she's probably in shock, doesn't know what to do. It's the guy. Why was
Gigi,
he
I
hitting
feel like
her?
you're very
Why
soft.
was he hitting her?
I feel like you're very soft. You're kind of emotional, making it look like not really emotional. You're making it look like she cannot even move her leg or move her hands. She can.
No, maybe she did fight back. Because I don't think she was just like sitting there getting beat and she was just
The way
there.
she said it, it was just like they beat her up for 1 hour. Like me, I want to
Okay,
get to 1
yeah,
hour,
okay.
1 minute.
Obviously, maybe she didn't give all the specifics. But then again, guys, what's wrong with the guy that he was beating her to that point? You know, I feel like if you do something like that, there's nothing you can say that, oh, you should go about it this way, you should go about this way. I feel like now the ball is in her court.
This is my personal advice to you.
Yeah.
If a guy ever happened to fight you, get something and hit him over here.
Okay, so what if like the room
hit
like,
him
there's
somewhere,
nothing?
he's gonna lay in the ground
But what
and
if
call
there's
the
nothing?
ambulance.
What if like the room was just like pillows and blankets and that's it?
Use your stiff, Gigi. You have bones, even if.
Well, she was probably like trying to protect herself, right? Like she's probably like trying to like cover her face.
Stephen gonna say, if you know me, I like to advocate for people fighting for themselves. Yeah? I'm like the type of person who doesn't like to just sit there and watch. Like, you can't do nothing to me. Let me do. I'll do it to you first before you do it to me. You know that I'm that type of person. But today, I have to like look at someone else. This wasn't Grace, you know, in that room. This was someone else who has probably different temperaments, who reacts differently, and all of that. You can't. What I feel what most of you are talking about is a change in personality. You want her to change her personality, but she already has a personality. You know, she already acted the way she did. Elle s'est déjà comportée comme elle s'avait déjà comporté. Et tout le monde se comporte différemment quand il y a des situations qui sont, you know, oui, les situations trop pétantes. Et puis aussi, vous croyez elle a fait mal par ses réactions, comment elle n'était pas partie à la police ou elle n'a pas fait cette autre chose là avant et puis après maintenant elle est en train de venir aux médias. Mais c'est comme si nous oublions qu'elle était avec cet homme ici pour beaucoup des années avant. Et cet homme ici, il a fait beaucoup d'autres choses sur elle pendant toutes ces années-là. Et elle n'avait pas parlé, elle n'avait pas dit, elle n'était pas partie à la police parce qu'elle était en train de faire quoi? Elle était une bonne femme. Elle était en train de faire ça que les femmes congolaises font toujours, which is se cacher, keep it inside, you know. Elle a fait ça jusqu'au point que c'est arrivé qu'on l'a abusée quand elle était enceinte. Et ça a changé la situation. Comme elle-même elle avait dit, c'était arrivé au point de life or death. Elle devait faire la décision à ces points-là. Je crois que si on avait tapé ses mains un peu, elle n'allait pas partir à la police ce jour-là, elle n'allait pas sortir de la maison, elle allait rester ses mains à la maison, elle allait même dormir sur le même lit, l'histoire allait continuer comme ça. Mais parce que Mike avait exagéré ces jours-là, c'est pourquoi nous sommes là où nous sommes. Et puis tu avais parlé que Alex a dit qu'elle n'allait pas partir aux médias pour montrer toutes les histoires qui se passent dans leur maison. Mais moi, je crois qu'elle devait aller aux médias parce que c'est les médias qui l'avaient attaqué. Vous vous rappelez quand les photos étaient sorties, c'est les médias qui l'avaient attaqué. Alors, là où se défendre, c'est seulement aux médias. Elle n'allait pas se défendre à la police. Et comme je disais avant, pour partir faire les rapports à la police, vous savez, c'est l'Amérique, pour faire